Okay, the LA Chargers have a secret weapon that we're not talking about enough. And it's kind of like he just feels like a secret weapon that's going to emerge under Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh's done this with his in his history. He gets there, guys that were okay players or pretty good, he elevates everybody, and this guy's primed to do that. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans. We have this channel all about the LA Chargers. And the guy I'm talking about, wait, before I get to that, real quick, put in the comments. We asked this before. It's kind of fun. Your favorite LA Chargers player, and it can't be an obvious one. Okay, so it can't be LT. Like, give me a sneaky one. This one's almost kind of obvious, but I still love it. It's Rodney Harrison. I loved when he was with the Chargers. It's like, man, let's go. Let's go. He was, that. I mean, LT was so good. I'm just going to honorable mention him. Can't say him though. I loved LT as well, just from an outsider's perspective. Okay, it's Darius Davis is the guy that I'm talking about. Darius Davis, because here's why I feel like he's got the return ability. We'll get into him in a little bit here, but the thing that's crazy is Lad McConkey. We're all excited about Quentin Johnson. Like, are you going to be able to be the guy? Joshua Palmer. We all expect to do something. DJ Chark. It's like you're a veteran guy. Brendan Rice, Cornelius Johnson, like you're the kind of the new guys. What about Darius Davis? It feels like he's in a perfect position to take that leap this year in his second year, and a return guy. He can do a lot of different things for the Chargers, and we're kind of forgetting about him. And so here's an article from last year when the Chargers drafted him, and it just reminds you, it's like, oh yeah, he's an explosive returner. At TCU, he had 5 punts returned for a touchdown. And if you ask me, punts are harder because at kickoff, you're getting it. You've got space. It's like, let's go make something happen. And I don't know if it's easier to get a kickoff return, but it's definitely harder to get a punt return. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, what I just said. He also has experience in kickoff returns. He had 1 touchdown in kickoff returns. And then he had a kick return in the pros last year. So again, this is an article before when the Chargers drafted him. He's a 5-year wide receiver at TCU. So he can play wide receiver. Like, he's not just a return guy. He is a Jet Award winner as the nation's top return specialist and first team All-American punt returner. Again, the return aspect is huge. TCU reunion, know that him and Quentin Johnston went in the first round. Davis went in the 4th round last year. And then here it is. He's a track star. This is where it's like, okay, he was originally a cornerback. He was ranked the number 3 player in the state of Louisiana, powerhouse, hotbed of recruits. So he's got speed. He's played defense. He's a wide receiver. He's got the kick return ability. Keep an eye on Darius Davis as we get into training camp and to see what he's going to do, because we've been focused on other wide receivers, and he feels like a Harbaugh prime type of guy to really take the next step here in year 2. Now, speaking of that, transition it over to this article, I think was perfect when you look at 5 dream scenarios for the LA Chargers. Now, let me know your thoughts on this. I thought this was really good. And here's why this is interesting. If one of these things come true, the Chargers are going to have a good season. One of these things. That's why I love this. The running game is good enough to elevate Justin Herbert. That's number 1. Very simple. We all know it. We've got Justin Herbert does not need a good rushing attack to be elite. We've already seen that. But it certainly helps when the quarterback has a rushing game to lean on. Goes to the rushing game. He can go play action. We know football enough to know what a good running game is. And that's what it's my theory. So keep that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt. It's my theory. This is why football remains so strong. It's one of many reasons, but the game has evolved, but you have to run the ball and stop the run. So there's a lot of different things that have changed with the game. We all know that, and that's what's really good. Unlike baseball, right? Baseball stays the same, and it's like, oh, come on, make some changes. The NFL has adapted, but what makes it so good is that at its core, it remains the same. And running the football is one of the things that's like you have to be able to. So that's an easy one. Trey Pipkins actually works at right guard. Again, If one of these things works, it's going to be awesome. So Trey Pipkins works at right guard. That means Joe Alt is doing his thing. That means Pipkins doing his thing. New center comes in. The offensive line's good, which means the running game would naturally be good, and Justin Herbert would be good behind this good offensive line. So Trey Pipkins is a key thing to have to go well in 2024. Of course, another big one. Quentin Johnson makes a year two leap. We've talked about this just at nauseum, because if he's good, then it's like the Chargers are absolutely fine. If he's not, there's question marks, and it's who's going to step up, and his Lad McConkey, and so you can go on and on about it. Quentin Johnson, this would just be easy one if you could be good, please and thank you. Jesse Minter brings back All-Pro Derwin James. So if Derwin James is cooking, then the defense is good. Then the defense doesn't even have to be elite. That's not even what fans want. It's just we can't have those games where you give up 40 points. Can we just stay in the game? Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Let the offense work. Stay in the game. Like and it starts with Derwin James being there. Derwin James progressively got worse with Brandon Staley as his head coach, dead coach. Wow, as his dead coach. James simply was not used properly. Instead of being the dynamic, versatile weapon that became a struggling safety who was exposed in coverage. There it is right there. Derwin James is good at a lot of things, but just like, all right, there are times when he can get matched up in situations where you don't want, and he shouldn't be in, and it get exposed in coverage. The defensive line lives up to the hype. Joey Bosa, Thule, Khalil Mack, and Bud Dupree they're aging, injury prone, whatever. They can get to the quarterback. Game changer, right? Game changer. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on these and what you're thinking as far as which one of those five you would love to see actually work out. Because if that actually works out, it's a game changer for the Chargers, and the 2024 season is going to be just fine. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, your favorite LA Chargers fan or LA Chargers player that was not a super obvious one. Also, if you've been watching our channel for any length of time and have not subscribed, we would love if you would hit that subscribe button. Going into training camp, we're getting close to 10,000 subs. I don't know if we're getting close. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs before training camp. Just I don't know, something about 10,000 like looks legit. And the thing about us is like we like to just bring you. We're trying to bring you stories and things to think about, and things that might be happening, things that have happened, things that you didn't realize happened. So that's what we do daily. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see all of you on the next one.